Hello out there in TV land.
You never know what people are going through. Do y'all remember that time Hey Arnold taught a lesson about the Little Miss Perfect label? Let's get into it. So the episode starts off with Helga and her unibrow in the classroom complaining about how it's always the same ish, just a different day. History, math, English, and science. Our girl is wondering when is something new going to happen. She needs some excitement. But to her luck though, the most exciting thing that can occur on a boring school day happens. A new student arrives. The whole class instantly starts whispering about her. They ain't never seen her around there before and they want to know who she is. When the class quiets down, the teacher, Mr. Simmons, introduces the new student as a girl named Lila who just moved there from the country. Just by appearances and the Little House on the Prairie background music they suddenly started playing, you could assume that Lila seems to be a sunny, sweet girl. And to emphasize that even more, she then tells the class,
"Hello, I'm very glad to meet you and, to be in your class."
This causes Helga to call her green as an inexperienced, naive, oblivious. Now we're outside where Lila is sitting off to the side by herself scoping out the scenery. Much like me many years ago when I found myself being a new girl at school. I know those kids thought I was mute because I wasn't speaking unless I was spoken to. That's still my motto to this day. I don't care if we know each other. We could make eye contact. With the way my social anxiety is set up, if you don't speak to me first, then I'm not speaking to you. That's probably why I barely got any friends now, but let's move on. It got a little personal. Anywho, Lila ain't even been at school a whole hour, but Helga, Rhonda, Phoebe, and two other girls whose names are beyond me now are already standing off in the distance, sizing the girl up and judging her. I don't know what they expect her to be doing on her first day at a school where she don't know nobody. Rhonda says she has no idea what to do or how to act or to do anything. This is when Helga gets it in her head that it's now their job to take Lila under their wings and teach her how things work around PS 118. Helga goes over to that girl and gets in her face aggressive as hell.
"What's your deal?"
What happened to hello? How are you? My name is. What happened to that?
But Lila doesn't pick up on Helga's hostile energy and just goes into more detail about her background. She tells them that her and her family just moved from Pleasantville, a farm town, and this is her first time in the city and she doesn't know anyone. Helga cuts her off like, yeah, shut the fuck up. You're new here. Let me tell you how shit about to go. Or at least she said something close to that, or that's just what I heard. One of the two. Helga then tells her that she, Phoebe, Rhonda, and the two other girls run things, and if Lila wants to fit in, she better jump in line. Better. Innocently, Lila says, well, I sure do want to fit in. Gosh, I just want to so much. Helga tells her, whoa, wait a minute.
You got too much dip on your chip.
She then tells Lila that fitting in is going to take some time, some finesse, and that she has to crawl before she walks. Helga is acting like this is some kind of secret society and not just 4th grade, and she tells Lila that it's going to take her at least 2 years, one if she's lucky, before she finds any real friends. Doing the absolute most, honestly. But then 2 random girls come up out of the blue and they ask Lila if she wants to play kickball. So it's looking like fitting in is not going to be that much of a problem for Lila. Now we're back inside the school, and now that Helga, her unibrow, and them other girls see that Lila really doesn't need them to find her way around PS 118, every little thing she says or does suddenly starts to rub them the wrong way, starting with Phoebe. Phoebe is the smartest in the class, and anytime Mr. Simmons asks the class a question, she's always the first to answer it. So when Lila beats her to it, our girl is disgusted.
"Samuel Morris in 1840.
Very good, Lila.
Huh? But I knew that.
Alright, Lila, that's strike 1. Then you got Rhonda. She's the richest at the school, and plus she's a flexer. She got a new outfit that she probably slept in last night because she was so ready to come to school and stun on them. Imagine how bad her stomach was hurting when Lila pulled up in the same outfit talking about she made it herself. Okay now, Lila, that's strike 2. And now you got Helga Pataki, whose home life is a mess. Her mom is an alcoholic who's barely there mentally, and her dad favors her sister over her. So when Helga sees the lunch lady favor Lila and tells her that she can have an extra dessert anytime she wants,
finally a little appreciation around here.
oh, that shit triggers her. Damn it, Lila, strike 3. You up out of there.
You are done out here. They gon' get you. They gon' get you next. Don't say I didn't say it. I'm gonna prepare for it. I really am. They're gonna tear her down.
Now, after only about 2 days, Helga and the rest of the girls can't stand Lila.
Who does she think she is anyway? Little Miss Perfect.
Deeming her as Little Miss Perfect, they are now on an unprovoked mission to bring her down a few notches. Helga says by the time they get done with her, she won't be Little Miss Perfect no more. And wait a minute, what's going on with Rhonda's outfit? Who was in the editing room? Anyways, now Helga and the rest of the girls are running off pure hateration. First, they decide to fill her locker up with Jell-O. Helga says if she wants extra dessert, she's going to get extra dessert. At this point, I just think Helga is hungry because there's no way that irked her that bad. Hanging on an empty stomach, Lord. But that plan ends up going wrong when they find out that Lila's locker got switched out with Big Patty's. Big Patty don't take no shit, so she ends up putting the paws on Helga. And the whole time, the rest of the girls who are doing all of this with Helga are just like, y'all hear something? And you would think a ass whooping like that would sit Helga down somewhere, but no, even with the whole neck brace, she's still thinking about Lila. So next they decide to take her lunch, which is a bologna sandwich, some milk and an apple, and they switch it out with a piece of rubber lunch meat, pickle juice, and a wax apple. But they didn't foresee Lila switching lunches with Big Patty, leading to Helga getting them paws put on her once again, but yet she's still focused on Lila. With a whole black eye now, she tells the rest of the girls that amateur hour is over. She says that this time they're about to get Little Miss Lila, and this time they're gonna get her good.
Phoebe, you're position 1. Rhonda, position 2.
Now we're in the cafeteria where Helga tells Lila that she saved a special table for her. I don't know why Lila not feeling the strong spirit of hateration in the air. They out to get you, girl, run. But of course she's not thinking that a group of girls she just met a couple days ago are suddenly out to get her for no reason. So she sits down at that table happy as hell. This level of hateration needs to be analyzed. They got walkie-talkies. They didn't build a whole contraption under the table. Did they sneak in the cafeteria during recess to do all of this? Wow. But anyways, child, just like Helga said, this time they do get Lila. People start pointing, laughing at her, causing her to run out crying. And it's sad because the girl ain't did nothing. She didn't deserve that at all. But then, as if my feelings weren't already hurting for Lila, they cut over to her house, and this is when shit goes from sad to just straight up depressing. We see Lila and her daddy sitting at the table eating meat substitute for dinner.
This meat substitute tastes almost like the real thing, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Lila is living a little rough.
Oh my God. Oh my God. My Shayla.
Lila probably just had one of the worst days of her life at school. Then she had to come home and eat meat substitute out of a can. Bless her! Bless her! Now we're at school the next day where Helga and the rest of the girls are extremely satisfied with what they did yesterday.
Total humiliation. A perfectly executed plan.
Okay.
Then Mr. Simmons comes into the classroom with a letter from Lila's father stating that she won't be at school today for personal reasons. Then he asks the class if anyone could volunteer to take Lila's homework to her house, and of course Helga and her unibrow agree to do it. Helga takes the other girls with her to Lila's house, and the first thing that comes out of her mouth when she sees where that girl lives is, "Man, what a dump."
Bitch, you out of order.
I assumed Miss Perfect would live in a more luxurious domicile.
I have a few things that I would like to say, but I have to keep remembering that they're only 4th graders, so. Anyways, then Helga gets invited inside of Lila's house by her father when she takes her homework to the door. Then we get to see the state of Lila's living situation even more. Helga goes back outside and starts bragging about how Lila was crying her eyes out and she still smelled like cream spinach. Lila starts crying loud enough for them to hear, and they decide that they want to watch her through her window. Why aren't y'all satisfied? Haven't y'all done enough? On the inside, Lila is telling her father that she never wants to go back to school. She says that all she ever wanted to do was fit in and to make friends. She says,
I just wanted them to like me.
Lila's dad tries to comfort her by telling her that any second now his new job is going to come through, but then he gets a phone call and it turns out he didn't get the job. Lila tells her dad not to worry about dinner because they still have 1 can of beans left in the refrigerator.
I don't want to cry.
Her dad says no they don't because he ate them for lunch. Now, I'm so sorry, daddy, but I gotta get you together for a second. You mean to tell me that you took your big back ass in that kitchen and ate the last can of beans, not having a clue what you and your daughter was gonna eat for dinner tonight? What was your plan? Did you even ask Lila? Did she want any of the beans? You weren't supposed to touch the beans. You were supposed to give them to your daughter, sir. Are you okay? Anyways, now Helga and the other girls got the nerve to be outside the window crying. Helga starts crashing out, saying that Lila wasn't so bad, that she was just trying to be nice and fit in. Well, no shit. Y'all literally went after that girl for no reason.
What are we? Animals? How could we treat her like that? How could we be so mean?
Then the girls decide that they gotta make it up to Lila, as they should. They end up going inside of Lila's house and confessing to what they did and apologizing to her.
Our actions were petty and most likely motivated by deep-seated insecurities within ourselves.
I won't lie, Lila accepted their apologies a little too quick for me, but I have to remember these are a group of 4th graders. While this is happening, another call comes to the house. It turns out the people changed their mind and decided to give Lila's dad the job. Yeah, that's all fine and dandy, but it still doesn't ease my mind because he still gotta work for that check. So since he ate the last can of beans that were in the whole entire house, what is Lila eating for dinner tonight? Sleep? Then the episode ends with the girls saying that even though Lila is back to being Little Miss Perfect, they like her now. I really don't have too much to say about this episode because I think it speaks for itself. I think they did a really good job with telling the story, and I think this is something very important for kids and teenagers to see because you never know what somebody got going on at home. Sometimes school truly be the only place of solitude and sanctuary for some people because their home life is a little rough or it's a mess. Some people not in at home and they know that school is the only place they gonna get a hot meal. Some people not getting no attention from their parents at home and they know school the only place where somebody gonna pay attention to them. Some people probably ain't even got no friends, no family like that, and sometimes going to school be the only place of happiness for some people. It really be like that sometimes. So yeah, don't be out here judging people because you know, life be rough. Wait a minute, I do have to say that what Helga and the other girls were doing to Lila was totally wrong. And her being less fortunate being a turning point for them, it don't really sit right with me because even if Lila was everything they thought she was, even if they thought she was Little Miss Perfect, even if Lila was going home to a mansion, 15 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, a pool in the house, an arcade in the house, they don't give them no right to be doing what they did to try to humble that girl. That was still wrong. Yeah, I hope that made sense. Like, now I'm all over the place. Now I'm just rambling. I hope that made sense. I think it made sense. Like, I think y'all get what I'm saying, you know. Yeah, y'all get it. I think.